So he sat in my office, and I saw the life force go down because the pain had gone up. And he said to me, "This isn't working." And in that moment, his body and his mouth said two different things to me. His mouth, the next question was, "Do you think I should get an MRI?" But what his body, his facial expressions, and his energy were telling me is that, "Renee, I'm scared. I'm afraid because this isn't getting better. And what does that mean for me? Will I still be able to hike with you? Will I still be able to hang out with my daughter?" And that's a lot to be carrying. And when we don't know what to do with it, we're helpless. And so when he looks at me and says, "Should I get an MRI?" I have the job of peeling through all of the layers that are presenting before me. And I take a big breath, because on the inside I'm going, "Oh shit." I don't say that on the outside because that's not helpful for him. What I say on the outside is, "Mike, to answer your question, I actually don't know right now. But what I do know is that you come built in, hardwired, factory installed with the mechanisms to heal. And for some reason, your system can't access that right now. And I'm wondering if you're open to doing some exploration as to what else might be happening in your world as to why your pain isn't getting better." I said, "Sure." I said, "Here's the thing, pain is a humdinger. It's this complex three-dimensional aspect, and science tells us physical pain always has mechanical physical dimension to it. It has an emotional dimension to it, and it has a social dimension to it. So what that means is that we can have factors in our world that we don't know that are playing out in our nervous system and stopping us from accessing the mechanisms to heal. And it's not our fault. It's not something you chose to do, but it happens." He said, "Yeah, actually life's pretty rough at home. My wife and my daughter aren't getting along, and I have to be the peacekeeper between the two of them, and it's not working at all. And it's causing all of these marital problems. Like, my marriage is falling apart." And it's like, wow, that's a lot. Yeah, maybe some of that is playing a role in this sustained fight or flight circuitry that's blocking your system's ability to find healing mechanisms. Do you have an interest in learning some stuff that you can do to make it better? Yeah, sign me up, like, that's why I'm here. Cool. I have him lie down on the table. I have him put his hands behind his head and keep his head looking forward and turn his eyes to the side and just hang out there and wait. And it's a super cool safety hack. It's this neurobiological sneak in, and you're using your body to tell your brain that you're safe. And you start engaging the ventral vagal aspect of your nervous system, which is like the superhighway to the mode of health, growth, and restoration. Enter healing. It was hard to do because the system's not used to it. But I said, practice this morning and evening. And I want you to try two other things. Blink nice and slow. He's like, what? I said, just try to blink slowly. Once, twice, 3 times. And he almost had this panic attack. Like, no, I can't. I have all these emails. I have my daughter. Like, I have all these things. I'm like, hold up. You're sitting here safe in this room with me. all I'm asking you to do is blink a couple of times. He's like, it's crazy what that's doing because I can't turn it off. I said, I'm not expecting you to turn it off right now. It's been on for 3 months since your car accident, plus however long before that. This stuff's hard. It's like a muscle. Let's just have you start practicing. So he does the vagal reset, he does the slow blinks, and he practices some Curious George awareness. When I'm at home, when I'm at work, what turns things up, what turns things down in the mechanical, emotional, and social side of things. It's been 2 visits since then, and he came back and said, you know, I had no idea how much I was taking all of these frustrations and letting them build and storing them in my body. I haven't turned down this fight, flight, freeze in I don't know how long. I said, you know, maybe I don't need that MRI after all. And the reason that makes me feel emotional is because I have seen when we're in that place of hopeless fear, we cling to anything and everything that has the promise of making us better. And we don't necessarily realize that that comes at a cost. And getting an MRI, when it's not clinically indicated, could plant a seed in this guy's mind that gives him a story. And this is a sensitive subject as well, but a diagnostic label, a bulging disc, a pinched nerve, which is normal for all of us as we make loops around the sun. And that story can lead to this self-fulfilling prophecy. And I promise each and every one of you, it's hard to look at those hidden realms of our emotional social world. What's harder is to go down the road of unnecessary medications, injections, surgeries, and repeated hopeless despair because the promise didn't fulfill. When in doubt, take these words and let them land, sink them in, because I have to do it all the time. Remember that we all come built in, hardwired, factory installed to heal. And when we remember that and feel that, it lets us live more of the life that we want to live and be more of the person who we want to be.